hello. We didn't hear you come in.
How's it going, folks?
I'm AAlgar Watt.
I'm TV's Matt Rowbotham.
You're not TV's anything.
I was TV once. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
awesome.
You were on TV.
Darn right.
You've really let yourself go.
Hurtful.
But true.
Ugh.
So, we're the hosts of the Post-Atomic Horror podcast.
You may remember us from that thing.
You know, when you listen to a podcast, you often picture what the hosts may look like in your mind. And we'd like to think that this is exactly what you're picturing.
It's so nice to reveal ourselves to you at last.
Yeah, I mean, we record from that little secret bunker we have. We give you our opinions of Star Trek and such. But now you finally get to see our beautiful, beautiful,
Behold.
my beautiful face. So we're here to wrap up season 1 of the original series.
Yep.
We've spent the last several weeks reviewing the first 30 episodes. Half of those were The Cage.
Are we going to have to do The Cage again?
We'll gloss over it. Come on, just keep your head down, power through. We'll get through
Dude
this.
in Cage. It was bad.
The end.
Things did not work out well for him.
No.
Beep.
For now, we will take you through some of the highlights of Star Trek: The Original Series, Season 1.
Enjoy. Or don't.
Don't tell them what to do.
Do my bidding.
We meet the crew of the Enterprise, most of whom are then fired.
Gary Mitchell gets magic god powers and forgets his best friend's middle name.
Bones meets with an old flame who has actually been dead for 5 years, and her husband has been knowingly banging a monster.
Pubescent boy, magic god powers, yeoman in tiny skirts. What could go wrong?
Sulu prances around with his shirt off, and Kirk sexually assaults his ship.
A ridiculous dog creature splits into 2 ridiculous dog creatures. Also, something happens with Kirk, I guess.
Harcourt Fenton Mudd attempts to sell women to horny minors, and everyone on the Enterprise learns a little lesson about the importance of inner beauty.
Nurse Chapel has an adventure in sadness and disappointment as she catches her fiancé with Andrea the android and a robo-lurch.
Kirk fails to win an argument with a small boy, but succeeds in bending a young girl to his will. Blah, blah, blah.
We learn of Kirk's love for penal colonies and also for nailing junior crewmen.
The Enterprise is menaced by a sinister space cube, and the crew enjoys a refreshing glass of Tranya with a goblin, aka Clint Howard.
Spock starts acting all weird. What is it, boy? Trouble at Talos 4? Captain Pike is trapped down a well?
More of the fucking Cage.
Don't blame me, Marge. I voted for Kodos.
The Romulans arrive to ruin a wedding.
Sulu dreams longingly of a gun.
The finest funeral director Starfleet has ever seen gets his start. Oh, and Spock is a total buzzkill.
Hey, magic god powers again.
Kirk spends 40 minutes trying to drop a safe on a snickering lizard and narrating himself.
Kirk seems genuinely surprised when his plan to beam a 1960s Air Force pilot aboard and tell him all about the 23rd century threatens to hurt the timeline.
The captain is put on trial for the murder of a gibbering maniac, and we learn that impartial trials are apparently a thing of the primitive past.
Kirk ruins some civilization that was working just fine before he got there.
The Enterprise visits Fantasy Island and does battle with Ricardo Montalban's legendary chest.
Kirk ruins some civilization that was working just fine before he got there. What? It happens a lot.
Actually, it happens right now, as Kirk ruins a colony that was working just fine before he got there.
A carpet blob thing in a mine begs, using very poor English, not to be murdered by the miners. Also, this happens.
By golly, Jim, I'm beginning to think I can cure a rainy day.
The Klingons show up and argue about what's to be done about a bunch of old men in their jammies.
Extra, extra, episode padded out with lengthy effects shots.
Kirk and Spock attempt to keep Biff from changing the timeline with Kirk's copy of the Gray's Sports Almanac. Then Spock gets sent back to the Old West.
Kirk loses a brother, but Shatner gains a mustache. Star Trek Season 1 had a lot of memorable characters, a lot of people that stood out for us.
Oh, sure. Like, what's his face?
That one guy.
Always wore a shirt.
Yeah, you know,
Shirty.
that guy. Shirty? No. You just stole that from The Simpsons, didn't you?
I might have done.
We really need to steal from better sources.
Or at least more recent ones.
More obscure ones.
Yes,
so
then
people
we can't
don't
be
know.
detected.
Exactly. Like a cloaking device, to bring this back to the subject at hand.
Yeah, you see what we did there? Even in real life, we do incredible segues.
Look, I'm ducked under his couch, okay? I mean, give me a little slack here.
No
Now-
flack.
None. Now we're going to take you through our 10 favorite... forgot what I was going to say.
Characters.
Characters. Yes, our 10 favorite characters from Star Trek Season 1.
Right.
Roll that clip.
Now.
Come on, roll the clip.
Oh, fuck.
I left you in charge of the clip, didn't I?
Hang on a sec.
That's why it didn't happen. All right, here it goes. Number 1.
Andrea the Android.
Helen Noel.
Harry Mudd.
Ensign Steve Buscemi. Ugh.
Rodent. Yes, his name is Rodent.
Clint Howard. I know his character had a name, but we're going with Clint Howard.
Fake Romulan Sarek.
Captain Gorny von Gornerstein of the Gorn Initiative.
That guy who was always fatigued. What's his head?
Ensign Billy.
Ensign Jimmy.
Ensign Tommy.
Ensign Smitty.
Ensign Charlie.
Ensign Bucky.
Ensign Wendy.
And Clyde.
There were a lot of memorable quotes in Star Trek Season 1.
Yeah, like, I'm not going back there, Jim.
That wasn't in the actual episode.
You sure? I remember seeing it on Mystery Science Theater.
Well,
Where I
yeah.
get all my facts from.
They made it up. It's just a show. You should really just relax.
You should relax.
Your mom should relax.
Your face's mom should relax.
Touche. At the end of each episode, in our little review things that we do, we choose our favorite quote of the episode, and we decided we should pick one for the season, for the entire season. Unfortunately, the one Matt chose is not actually in the episode.
I grow fatigued.
Get back here. You can't just solve your problems by being fatigued.
I continue to grow fatigued.
All right, while he's taking a nap, here's my favorite quote from my favorite episode of Star Trek, entitled Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Catch you later, Bill and Ted!
Now you must beg me to stay.
Wait, that quote wasn't actually from Star Trek, was it? No, let's try that again. Here is now my favorite quote. Our favorite quote. Come on, join me here, won't you?
Together.
All together now. All together now. Your
All
glasses are
together
going to
now.
fall off.
All together now.
Stop that. No singing.
Oh.
All right. Here now for you is our favorite quote.
That,
An incredible fortune in stones. Yet I would trade them all for a hand phaser. Or a good solid club.
There you Ah! Jesus Christ! That was not cool, man. Not cool.
For me, it was awesome.
Of course it was. That's all it's about, is about you, isn't it? Quiet, boy. You want to get us sued? All right, so that's it for us for Season 1. We appreciate your patronage.
Yep.
If you enjoy hearing us blather on about Star Trek, check us out. We're on iTunes. We're on postatomichorror.com.
Yep.
We do this weekly. We review 2, sometimes 3 episodes. And sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's more like this.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for joining us. And we'll be back at the end of Season 2.
See you, folks.
Yay!